Hey, so you ever look at a massive political organization and think, wow, that doesn't look so much like a grassroots movement. That sure looks like a corporate shell. Well, you're not alone, because there's a specific multi-million-dollar Turning Point USA illusion floating around and making its way through every campus ecosystem. It's like a flawless house of cards, except there's no geniuses. There's just mega donors and a bunch of people bending at the knee to try to make them happy. And I'm going to show you exactly how Turning Point USA and their whole political empire, pretending to take over the world, are actually occupying nothing but an abandoned Instagram archive. And once you see the gap between what Erika Kirk and Turning Point USA is putting out in their glossy fundraising pitches and what actually exists on the ground, you're never going to look at Erika Kirk or Turning Point USA the same ever again. This whole conservative, alt-right, institutional movement momentum, just a farce. And real quick, I'm Lauren Paritra. If you're new here, Willa Paritra is behind me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you guys see her? She's just starfishing. That is, oh my God. Willa and I, mostly me, these days are really putting our all into maintaining our lead on Katie Miller and Stephen Miller by proxy. She is the woman that married that man on purpose. He is the pale white nationalist from Santa Monica behind all of the ICE and immigration and white nationalist terror. I ask that you subscribe. Every action you take to support this channel, every follow, every comment, 6 words or more, every hype on YouTube, every 5-star rating, wherever you get your podcast, every save and share, every action, it creates a protective barrier between you and Stephen Miller, who could be crawling out of your sink at any moment. And it also prevents your favorite local small business from becoming a Turning Point USA faith center. So the choice is yours. Stay safe. Let's protect our communities. Okay. Let's talk about the art of the grift, because honestly, you have to admire the confidence it takes to look at a room full of aging billionaires, look them dead in the eye and tell them you've captured the hearts and minds of America's youth. Every time they play a video on Turning Point USA's Instagram or little Twitter account, and it's a pan of the hearts and minds and the youth, there's not a lot of youth and definitely not a lot of movement. Bless y'all, but the young, older folks, they're right here. They're listening to LPTV. So we love to obsess over the right-wing machine. We track entities like Turning Point USA, which has been like frantically scrambling to maintain its base following what we're calling like a massive leadership exodus. Everyone has left or been booted ever since Charlie Kirk was kaput in late 2025. So when we look at the secondary grifters like Erika Kirk, she's always on the verge of like launching something, selling us a book, selling us a t-shirt with her dead husband's name on it and a weird quote. Now also tickets to Jesus Cella, but she's now introducing this leadership summit, which she's had for many years now, it seems, a women's summit for Turning Point USA for teenagers and for 12 and 13-year-olds who aren't even old enough to vote yet. They want to capture them young and make sure that they're indoctrinated. And we're constantly told that these groups are cultural juggernauts. They are supposedly boosting massive, terrifyingly large budgets. In Erika Kirk's case, she's managing a budget that exceeds $80 million a year. And they proudly brag to the press that they have chapters on over 3,300 high school campuses and college campuses nationwide. So on paper, it might sound like they have an army. It sounds like it's an irreversible takeover of an American educational system. But if you actually step into a physical campus and say, hey, University of Willa, I would like to talk to the student government officials and ask about the Turning Point USA chapter, you're not going to find a crowd of roaring young patriots. You're going to get a lot of blank stares, because a lot of the student reps who are just trying to figure out what they want to have for lunch, where the party's going to be that weekend, none of them really care that much about Turning Point USA. And what if I told you, when I first started this podcast, I remember sitting there thinking, what if nobody listened? Seriously, you put so much time and energy into building something, and then there's always that little voice in your head wondering if it's ever going to work out. But taking that leap ended up being one of the best decisions I've ever made. And if you're starting a business or launching something new, having the right tools behind you can make such a huge difference. That's why Shopify is such a game changer. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From huge brands to brand new entrepreneurs just getting started, they give you hundreds of customizable templates so that way your online store actually looks clean and professional. And Shopify handles everything in one place: inventory, payments, analytics, shipping, returns, all of it. Plus, if you ever get stuck, their award-winning 24/7 customer support is always there to help. It's time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/Lauren. That's shopify.com/Lauren. And that's LOREN. And I will link it in the description. There's a massive gap between what Erika Kirk is putting out on a national chapter list and the real world reality. There's a lot of bullshit going on. So to understand how an organization would actually lie about its size, you have to look at how nonprofit field staff actually work and how they keep their job. So imagine being a fresh-faced, mid-tier, right-wing representative forced to meet a quota. You need to bring in 1,500 new campus chapters this semester, or you got to get back on the job market and find another job where you can terrorize people for wanting basic rights. So what do you do when nobody on campus wants to hang out at your folding table? Well, if you're a real organizer, like my friend Z. Cohen Sanchez and her Unfuck America tour, you actually do the work. You show up on the ground with actual TikTok influencers, you build real communities, and you put human beings out there to host live open mic debates to claw back the Gen Z vote. You face the music, you engage people, and you build authentic infrastructure. But if you're on the other side and that authentic campus interest doesn't exist, you need to get creative to build a movement. You start building ghosts.
School by school, we began working through the list, reaching out to administrators, student activity offices, and faculty advisors. And we just asked one simple question: whether there was an active Turning Point chapter on their campus. Some schools confirmed that there was, student groups that met, organized, and operated as we would expect. But in other cases, the answers were less clear. Some described the clubs had gone inactive, others said the group had existed at one point but no longer did, and in some cases, administrators told us they had no affiliation with Turning Point USA at all.
The blueprint for the Ghost chapter is embarrassingly simple. So what's happening right now is Turning Point USA and people are setting up unmonitored campus Instagram accounts, and they're throwing up exactly 3 posts from the fall of 2024. And they accumulate about 108 followers, most of whom are bots or other field reps, and then you completely abandon it. And you never get official university recognition. You never pass the student senate. Instead, you register on your national portal using a fake contact or a student who is bribed with the $25 gift card to Amazon. And boom, you're officially an active chapter helping just to justify that massive fundraising goal. The university administration has zero record of your existence. Doesn't matter. To a donor sitting in a country club in Palm Beach, you are a localized hub. You are hosting a Turning Point USA chapter. You're bringing the revolution. You're protecting the billionaires. So this brings us to the actual receipts exposed in episode 1 of the documentary, Turning Point's numbers don't add up. When independent investigators started picking up the phone and calling these supposed 3,300 chapters, the facade completely shattered. They discovered that Turning Point USA's actual verified college footprint sits at about 900 official chapters, which is much more humble than 3,300. And the remaining thousands, complete phantom accounts. We were talking about ghost chapters with zero activity, defunct school registrations, and fabricated student contacts. So Z is proving that what Turning Point USA is doing is inflating their metrics to keep their corporate donor checks flowing. It turns out it's just a highly coordinated facade. It's a bunch of BS. And we're going to stay on this. We're going to keep digging in. We're going to see what else Erika Kirk is completely making up and what else is completely full of shit. So make sure you subscribe, and I'm going to go play with Willet. Okay, bye.